I'm going to tell you the secret right out of the gate. The secret is there is no secret. The idea of search engine optimization, we used to spend a majority of our time trying to reverse engineer Google's algorithm. Google uses 200 different signals to understand who should be on the front page. They changed it last year more than once a day. And if we're going to try to reverse engineer and outsmart Google, I just found out that we're just not smart enough to do that. And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Why does Google change its algorithm? To provide a better result. Okay, so if you just try to think about providing a better result, you'll get ahead of the algorithm automatically. Okay. Here's the secret. Follow Google's rules. Google actually publishes their rules. I'll show you. Google will tell you exactly what they want to see. Help Google achieve its goal. Again, Google's goal is to provide a rich user experience. They want to have the best experience for their users. And that's part of their whole mantra. They feel like if they provide the best user experience, they'll have the most users, which then in turn can provide them the financial gains that they're looking for. Be a true resource, kind of like Reggie's meeting here. He's a true resource. He's not about trying to focus on a specific area. If you've gone back and seen Reggie's other meetings, he does it, during tax time we talk about taxes. Right now we're talking about short sales. Then another time with the market he's going to talk about something else that's a true resource, and that's why he has such a great following, because he puts the information in front of his goals, and in turn he reaches his goals. Use fundamental principles, just like investing. If you want to be a day trader, you might be able to succeed at being a day trader, but all of us can be a successful investor if we follow some basic principles, right? If we spend less than we earn, if we put a little bit away, you don't have to know any fancy tricks. If you follow some fundamental principles, you can be successful with the internet. Don't take shortcuts and don't employ tricks. If you can take anything away from here today, don't cheat. That's the big deal. Google will get you. You're not going to be able to outsmart Google. I know that if 10 people in this room go forward, 5 of you will try it. It just happens. We struggle in our company all the time with people trying to ask us, let's take this little shortcut. Okay. Google is the judge. If you want to win a contest, call it a chili cook-off contest, and they told you the rules that they were using to judge the contest, do you think you'd have a better chance of winning the contest? Absolutely. So why doesn't everybody go to Google, who actually creates the rules, and ask them what the rules are? This is kind of, again, a fundamental concept is to go to Google and ask them what they're looking for. And I took a quote, and I'm assuming Reggie's going to put this online. On these, you'll see I've put the actual URL to the specific areas that I'm quoting. Okay, so you can go to the page and read the whole thing. The one thing that he really talked about is you may not pay, before this is say, you might not do everything we say to do in here, but make sure you pay attention to the quality guidelines. Because if you don't, we might remove you completely from Google. So they'll blacklist you. They don't use the word blacklist so much anymore. They were getting into lawsuits for restriction of trade. So what they do is they boil the water slowly, and they start peeling you away, and you start to see your positions die away, and you just kind of die on the vine. And next thing you know, you found out you were penalized 2 years ago, and it took them 2 years to really kind of blow you away. And that's prevented them from getting into a lot of lawsuits, in my opinion. I think that's why they're doing it the way they are. Here is, this is what Google's Webmaster Guidelines looks like. And if you look in here, there's all kinds of tools. This is a huge resource. They're telling you right here, here's the design and content guidelines. Here are the technical guidelines. We're going to stay completely away from the technical stuff today. And here are the quality guidelines. So they're telling you exactly what they want. I'm going to highlight a couple of things that they say. They say make your site with a clear hierarchy. Okay, so this is about information architecture. It's about plain organization. A nice, clear architecture, something that you'd want if you were writing a paper, a school paper, or if you're writing a book. In the book, you organize it by chapters, right? That's a nice, clear hierarchy. They say make it information rich, okay? Again, I refer back to Reggie's group. And a lot of these, again, foundational principles. If Reggie's meetings weren't so information rich, you guys wouldn't come, okay? It says to think about the words you use. This is one of my pet peeves. If you go to an internet marketing seminar and they don't talk about keywords, you'll never be found for something if you don't talk about it. If you don't talk about short sales, you will never come up for short sales. Think about the keywords you're using. Make sure to use alt attributes. I'll talk about that more in a little bit, but it's keyword related. This is in the quality guidelines. It says to make the pages primarily for users, not for search engines. So you really got to, again, think about catering to your audience and don't think about manipulating search engines. And then finally, avoid tricks intended to improve search engine rankings. Okay, so Google's telling us exactly what to do. I've boiled it down. And my 16-year experience is right here on the next slide. Content is king, is what it all comes down to. I really believe that content, original content, is just like equity. If you were to come into the market today with a 50-page website, you would not fare better than somebody that built 50 pages, one page at a time over the last 50 months. Just like investing. Because that sends a lot of signals to Google. Think about what Google's got to do. Google's got to figure out who's for real and who's not. It's almost an impossible thing to deal with. But you know that if somebody comes in and puts a page a month for 50 months, they're a real player. It's hard to fake that. Okay, so think about those kind of things. Again, developing content is like investing. Invest before you speculate. If you're going to buy ads, if you invest in content, that content is yours forever. And it gains trust and it gains momentum. You might have to change it and update it. But just like if anybody here in school, this book is forever. If you ever wrote a paper in school, a really good paper that you're proud of from high school, you probably still have it. And it's still good today. Content is forever. Ads are speculation. You can spend $1,000 on Google ads and you may or may not get any result from it. And it's gone. So they're real speculative. And again, think about the time value of content. I kind of touched on it, but there is really something to trust that you build over time. Duplicate content can hurt you, okay? Duplicate content if you're stealing it, okay? If you're going to repost a New York Times article, of course you're going to have duplicate content. If you're going to repost a press release, of course you're going to have duplicate content. But if you're going to try to take the other investors, copy their content, and put it on their page as your own, Google will catch you. Okay, here's the formula. This is the most important slide, I think, that you to really understand. And they're kind of concepts. So the three main concepts: comprehensive, relevant, and timely. Anything that you do, think about those three concepts, and we'll go through them as we go through today. 5 key elements to every page, and make sure when I'm talking about these things, every page of your document, every page of your website is a separate document. Okay, so your home page, your inside, every single page is a completely separate document. Google doesn't return a website, right? It returns a page. Okay, so we're going to talk about each one of the page. There's 5 key elements. There's a title tag, a header tag, descriptions, in-content keywords, alt tags. And again, you find it in everything. I'm picking up this book because it's close. If there was a flyer closer, I'd pick up a flyer. But in this book, it has a title right there. It has header tags. They're called chapters. There is a description. It's called an introduction. There's in-content keywords. If he didn't talk about due diligence in this book, it wouldn't be very relevant, right? It wouldn't work so well. And then there's alt tags. And again, I'll talk about alt tags. Alt is alternative. So in other words, you can't read this picture, but it's a picture of a home, right? That would be the alt text for this. It'd be a home. And if all of that stuff kind of adds up, then you're going to have a good result. Okay, now let's learn about page optimization, the real kind of basic of page optimization. Here's what Google says. Again, there's a link to it. Our technology analyzes the full content of the page, factors in fonts, subdivisions, and the precise location of each word. Okay? We grab the book. It happens to be here. Due diligence is the keyword. Where is it located? We look at the precise location. It's on the title. So I'm going to guess that this book is about due diligence, right? If I open it up and I said the second thing was chapters, if the chapters talk about due diligence, I'm going to take that into account. If it has, you see what you do, so you look at where the keywords are and what areas are most important. And think about how you need to file things. If you had a book and it didn't have the keyword in it, how would you find it?